Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
The question isn't what are we going to do, the question is what aren't we going to do.
Gotta have my pops.
Don't stop believing.
Whatever it is we look forward to and whoever it is we're chasing. To that I say amen.
Street light.
Keep this thing going. Pick a name. Go on the air. Talk hard.
To that I say all right, all right, all right.
World, the headlines read of those whose hearts are filled with greed, who rob and steal from those in need. To right this wrong with blinding speed goes underdog. Speed of lightning, power of thunder, fighting all who rob or plunder. Underdog, underdog.
So I feel like exploring outside of the Lex Luthor realm is very interesting, and to kind of see how they intertwine Brainiac. It's odd that that was something that was deleted, so I don't know, maybe that's something that they're hoping to implement with this, and that's why they removed it. Maybe that's kind of what they're trying to put as the forefront, so they want that to be more focused in this next movie instead of it being something that everyone sees coming.
Hi there, Face here, and now get ready for a special song from a right here on
Get ready and get set.
Come on!
Because it's time to make some friends on Allegra's window. Join Lindy.
I'm the cave dog.
Poco.
Poco eat yummy worm.
Rondo.
Rondo the mysterious.
And Allegra. Off on their fun-filled musical adventures in Hummingbird Alley.
What about the Riffster?
And Riff, too, the coolest alley cat in town.
You can say that again.
Join the entire gang on Allegra's Window, weekdays at 1:12 Central on Nick Jr.
All right, folks. Welcome. Another Friday POPSCAST. Hope you're doing well. Hope your week is going well. Hope you're doing all right. We're going to talk about some different news stories, talking mostly movies, but definitely have a little TV show news as well. With me again, my lovely daughter's back in the house. TayTay is in the house. What is going on, sweetie?
Not much. Trucking along, getting a few things done around the house, and just, being a mom. So that takes up a good majority of my time, even with the kids at school. But yeah,
That's
excited
good.
to be here.
We had a good time last time. It's going to be fun to talk about some other stuff. And on that heels, it's no surprise. Right out of the gate, we'll talk with Superman. Around the time we were wrapping up or I was editing, the news had dropped about this, that we have an official Man of Tomorrow update. This is just one of the many stories here that basically James Gunn says we're going to have a sequel, and we're going to have a sequel ready by 2027, believe it or not, which sounds completely insane. He basically is just talking about it as Man of Tomorrow. I have not seen him say allegedly it's supposedly not called Superman : Man of Tomorrow. It's just called Man of Tomorrow. He also is a little weird about how he talks about it not being, quote, a direct sequel. He sees Peacemaker season 2 as a direct sequel. For those of you that are confused by that, what I think he means is sort of the Rogue One into New Hope, direct, like literally like immediate
Transition.
Timeline type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he is really, this is how Gunn is different than Zack Snyder. Gunn isn't really lying to you. He is splitting hairs so finely that he can try to feel like he's telling you the truth. Snyder will just bold-faced lie to you. He would just bold-faced lie to you. J.J. Abrams is even worse. J.J. Abrams is the worst. They would just bold-faced lie to you and say, oh, that's not going to be Khan in this new Star Trek movie. It's not at all Khan. Its name is John. It's not. It's like, whatever, dude. So, yeah. Were you surprised by this news? And kind of what was your thoughts when you first saw it?
Not really. I think the biggest thing is that we know that they're going to keep pushing for it. Gunn is in charge now, so he's trying to push as much stuff out as he can, and Superman's going to be the frontliner for most things. With the fact that the Supergirl is the Woman of Tomorrow, I'm not really surprised by the title. It is a little odd that he's stating it as not Superman sequel, so I don't really know what he's going to do with that if that's the title. of the film. I'm kind of curious as to where they're going to take it, if it's not going to be a Superman prized role or like main storyline based off Soups. So we'll see. I at this point, I told you previously with DC stuff, I don't really have like extreme high hopes going into it because I did that in the past and I had a lot of disappointment with things. So it's more so like we'll just see what happens kind of circumstance. And I'm just hopeful that we hopefully get more introduction to some of those uncommon characters that have not gotten a lot of limelight, because I actually look forward to that more than anything.
Well, and I really hope that we will, get some things that I really want out of a Superman movie. It's just not the right place for the introduction and elaborate on more of the sort of like Mr. Terrific story or whatever. I do feel like you're right. It may not be totally about Superman. We also, in one of the little things he teased, is basically Lex Luthor in like the armored suit, which I'm actually shocked didn't appear in the first movie.
That's true.
That first appearance in that comic book. So I think that Gunn, as far as I know, Gunn doesn't even have a script. I don't know that he has. I think he's kind of danced around what he has done or not done. The fact that they're wanting to do this in 2027 is radically fast for him to not have anything in place. So I don't really understand that dynamic. I don't know what to. I think anyone who says they know anything is. I don't think James Gunn's. I think he probably has maybe some ideas and notes. Maybe he has like a treatment. He has like 30 pages. He's pitched it. He's gone all that.
Yeah.
He's maybe structured some of that kind of stuff. Now, one thing we do know, which hasn't been talked about much, I wanted your thoughts. There was originally a credit scene that involved Brainiac. Does that excite you at all?
Well, yeah, actually. So I feel like exploring outside of the Lex Luthor realm is very interesting, and to kind of see how they intertwine Brainiac. It's odd that that was something that was deleted. So I don't know. Maybe that's something that they're hoping to implement with this, and that's why they removed it. Maybe that's kind of what they're trying to put as the forefront. So they want that to be more focused in this next movie instead of it being something that everyone sees coming. I do see that in my opinion, it's silly to remove those kinds of things, because that's the excitement that you build with your fan base by having those kind of after credit scenes are the things that we want to see. So not implementing that at all and getting and removing it entirely is very odd to me. Maybe they just didn't feel like they had enough to work with to have that as a teaser in case they do end up putting it on the back burner again. So who knows? It could kind of go both ways.
I have to be honest. The fact that it was there and taken out, to me, I don't know what this. I actually don't know the entirety of what the scene was. I just know it was a Brainiac reference of some persuasion. But one of my big hangups with the movie, I've been very honest about this, was that the fact that they have the message from the parents was about like dominate the species and you're a dominant being and what. And I hated all that. I hated the fact of go be a hero was being warped, and it doesn't make any sense. And to have a credit scene where you kind of reveal that Brainiac has modified the message, like you figure out there's more to it, would have been the best way.
It. Yeah, absolutely.
It would have been the best way to undo that, have fans talking about it, and then set up more. Because it didn't even have to take away your focus on Lex Luthor. It can be happening so that Brainiac is your big bad for movie number 3, because you have a transition from Luthor into Brainiac in this second movie. So my fingers are crossed that is the plan. And I think it also leans into the best part of the first movie was Mr. Terrific would be a great sort of like counter voice against a Brainiac entity compared to everything else. I don't need more Justice Gang references. I don't need 4 or 5 villains. I don't need everyone saving Superman. I need him to just be, in over his head and then always finding a way. He's Mr. Hero. Yeah. So, shocked by the 2027. I think it's extremely fast to go from,
I agree with that.
As far as we know, we have next to no script to production is really, really fast by modern standards. This is actually more like the way we used to make movies, but we used to actually write scripts before you started, by the way. Go back and watch like Ridley Scott's and all of them talking about stuff. And it's like, they would be angry that they would go into a production with a script and the studio would meddle with it along the way. And then now it's like they don't even really have a script. They just kind of make it up on the fly. So yeah, I'm hopeful that, anyway, last thoughts.
No, just like you said, trying to stay as positive with it as possible, with it being a lot of new people on this that are coming in, so that are going to be working alongside Gunn and whatever he is hoping for DC as a whole. So we'll just kind of stay positive, and hopefully with the fact that there is a possibility Brainiac may be brought in at some point, that would explain a lot of the stuff that's kind of been odd to us with this movie and didn't make a whole lot of sense as to why it was implemented in the first place. So hopefully that's just small little breadcrumbs leading to something better.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know, folks. What do you guys think about Superman? At least Man of Tomorrow, Superman 2, call it whatever you want. I don't know what to expect. I think it's too early to know. To me, the big news is 2027, because we're going to have Supergirl next year. We'll have Superman the year after. Just keep all the peripheral stuff peripheral. Peacemaker, Amanda Waller show. Just put it all in the periphery. And I hope that they would just do less of that, because I don't feel like they have a clue to what they're doing to build an audience, which we can talk about at some point. But so one thing that was interesting was the fact that we moved forward with another huge video game IP.
Yeah.
And obviously
very huge.
Paramount's moved forward with this. The news has come down that they're going to move forward. Spielberg's name is attached again. And for those of you who don't know my frustration, he was attached way back. I've been covering Spielberg stuff for decades. He was attached back when Halo was first sort of like option, that kind of thing. Puck initially reported this and said Activision has got it all worked out. They allegedly have him involved. I just don't understand. I understand why someone of Spielberg's caliber, and he's always wanted to do one. He's big into games. He's big. What? He's like, 70 something years old, dude. Like, okay, you're not the right choice for Call of Duty. Call David Ayer. David Ayer. I don't know how to say that. David Ayer, the guy that did the original Super Sonic, did Fury. Let's do that. Let's do Call of Duty with that guy. I don't know. What was your thoughts on the COD news?
I had a lot of mixed feelings for it. So I'm not a big COD fan in any way, because those are not the type of games that we really play. But I know that concept of it, like Halo, it's a very like shooter-based military background storyline for overall with the franchise. It has adapted over time with different games like the Black Ops and things like that, to where they have a different things that they can do. I did read that they are possibly talking about expanding it for TV and film, trying to not limit it, which is interesting to me. So we'll see if Paramount actually goes forward with that. The Spielberg side, I have mixed feelings. So his interest in it, I was like, okay, I guess everyone has their side things that they want to try to do, side projects that maybe is just a passion for them. So maybe he just really enjoys the games themselves, or just has an interest in the genre of games that they are. But the fact that Activision was just like, no, we don't want to work with you, because he wanted to have so much credit from it, that was more surprising to me than the fact that Spielberg wanted to do it. I was just, for someone to be offered a chance to work with such a big name as Spielberg to bring the movie and everything up to focus, I was surprised when they didn't want to work with him. Yeah. And maybe you're right. Maybe it's because they were like, no, you're too old. This isn't a thing that you should be doing, or it's not your genre of choice, so we don't think it would work out well. Or it could just be they just didn't want to give him as much credit as that he was asking for. So that was just more so surprising to me as a whole, and whenever I was looking into it. So we'll kind of see what happens when Paramount starts to give us more information as to what they're seeing for this, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, I don't think there's a win for anybody in this. I think if Spielberg is involved, it's make it its own. I mean, as much as I can enjoy Ready Player One, it's not the original source material. As much as I hate on Halo, who knows how much more I would have hated on Halo had it been a Spielberg production. There are so many elements, and the fact that it goes over to Paramount isn't great either. Now, David Ellison's comment, this is CEO, he said in his press release, as a lifelong fan of Call of Duty, this is truly a dream come true. From the first Allied campaigns, the original Call of Duty, through Modern Warfare and Black Ops, I've spent countless hours playing this franchise I absolutely love. Being entrusted by Activision and players worldwide to bring this extraordinary storytelling universe to the big screen is both an honor and a responsibility we don't take lightly. Well, then we'll see who you hire, Paramount. Because I'll be honest, if you're not calling David Ayer, it's David Ayer. Ayer cut. Ayer.
Okay.
if you're not calling David Ayer, I don't know who you're calling. So I mean, I'm sure there are other people. I'm sure there are people that you know, whatever. He is the man. He would be the person to call if you've never seen the movie Fury. If you can't
I've
feel,
not
oh
heard
my
I've
gosh,
heard it's
holy cow!
a big deal though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we actually have about 20 great war movies that are sort of in modern era, like 2010 forward. Like it's really kind of fascinating. And you have to define war a lot broader than some, because people think of war, they only think of World War II. But you think about the broad scope of war, there's been a lot of really good war movies, and Fury is really a raw, gritty film. I think he was a great choice for Suicide Squad, and I feel like his version of Suicide Squad probably would have been even significantly better than anything we could have imagined. I don't know what to expect for Call of Duty. I will tell you that this is possibly one of the biggest things since like the Mario Brothers announcement. Like this is the kind of thing that has such a massive built-in fan base.
Yeah,
And this is not what
exactly.
critics want to hear. I would also caution against the PG-13 thing. Like this isn't going to be the thing that you would want to dumb down. The game is premature, right? So
exactly.
yeah, I can't imagine if they want to soften that up just because they think they're going to get better numbers. That'd be another big red flag for me. Was who they hire, number one, the rating, and kind of go from there. I don't know enough about the game. I'm not a gamer. I don't know.
It's extreme. So I agree with you on the rating. That's a good thing to like point out is it's an extreme battle shooter type game, and it gets extremely graphic, and I can't see anything justifying a PG-13 rating in any way. So I feel like if they were to do that, that would be very harmful for the franchise overall.
Yeah. It was that's definitely the biggest one for me, is to see how that kind of play out.
Yeah,
for sure. You guys let me know what you think about COD. What do you know the oddness of Spielberg wanting to be involved, and then also like just for them to go no thank you, and they sold it over to Paramount behind its back, and I'm like, that was weird. So I don't know. Long gone are the days where Spielberg called all the shots. I think he's just too old. I also don't think he has a plan. I think he just is so into his own little universe of what he likes and doesn't get that most people are like, yeah, whatever. So yeah, that was a good one. Big one. It's a big story, that's for sure, this week. The next one's kind of an odd one. I did not see coming. Boy, I have mixed feelings on this one. This is going to be the hot take for me.
Okay.
So an Archie movie got picked up by Universal. Again, very surprised by the new. I mean, this had to be the one that surprised you the most, right?
It did, for a lot of different reasons. So the first thing is I don't really know where this is going to take, because there can be so many different ways they can approach this. For it to be a Universal film, I feel like that even adds to it. And I don't know if you are aware, but Netflix did try to do a Archie musical-esque type thing a while back, and it was very bad. So I don't know what they're going to do with this, how it's going to be affected. It does seem like, based off of the discussions that they've already like shared with us, that Tom King, who I guess is the person that did the screenwrite, or at least is providing information on it, that they seem very confident that the material that he's bringing is like fantastic, and they're excited to work with them, and this is a fan base of people that are working on it. So I don't know if that necessarily means a good thing, because sometimes even with the fan base behind the wheel, it doesn't always end well. And I have like a lot of up and down feelings on this, and I'm trying to stay as positive as I can with something that hasn't really had a lot of focus on it. But like I said, with that Netflix show being as bad as it was, I'm not really staying high on my hopes.
I was mortified. I was excited at first. I saw Universal. I think Universal has some more upside right now. I saw that they're ringing in Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who have done some good stuff. That was good news. And then I saw Tom King's name. And they can't write Tom King's name without saying Eisner winning. He's also the guy that's butchered I don't know how many comic book characters and story arcs and whatever. So he's the one writing it. And it says, quote, "We are longtime fans of Archie, Veronica, Betty, and the gang and all their iterations." Notice that poor Jughead got left out. When we heard about Tom King's take on the classic material, we instantly thought it made sense as an event movie for all audiences, both lifelong fans and a whole new generation. So we are so excited to bring the beloved characters to the big screen. We scroll down. Emma Watts is going to be doing the production. Oh man, with this website, it's driving me crazy. Emma Watts doing production work. She's worked on the Spider-Verse movies, 21 Jump Street. She's worked with them on the Lego movies as well. Let's see, Archie Comics history here, and then a little of that. So the Netflix stuff, I didn't last hardly at all. I shouldn't need that nonsense. I think that Archie is definitely one of the IPs that we don't talk about. How it used to be.
True.
It was so wholesome and white bread that I was even bored as a kid. Like I hated it as a kid. I was into superheroes and some action and some violence and it was so gushy, easy 1950s type stuff, adventures of kids and relationshipy stuff. So when the Netflix thing came along and they're like, oh no, we're gonna go. They didn't like bring it in. They kind of overcompensated. Like it could have been Smallville, right? It could have been like brought into like Smallville territory. Instead, it went over. They overcompensated. Yeah, also, Archie Comics has been the safe haven of the alphabet community activism. So they have played in the sandbox with all of these sort of like changes to characters and what they're going to do, and all. It has long been a place and a haven for these activists who want to do these type of stories and infuse this type of stuff in traditional story art. Like it's not like they didn't make a new comic, they didn't make a new story, new characters. They just intertwined all of this in there. So Tom King, he's in that exact same vein. And of course, he on the heels of the James Gunn conversation we've been having about Superman, Supergirl, he's very much connected with that. He's somehow a person that's being revered by these Hollywood execs, I guess, but he is a deconstructionist. He doesn't believe in the real lore of Archie. He just wants it to look like it does. I was shocked by this news. I didn't know this was not on my radar screen of something that was going to get made or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just it really was. I was very surprised by this one. This one didn't I did not see this one coming, so to speak.
Not at all. I didn't even know it was something that was in talks in any capacity. So it definitely was. I feel like after the Netflix stuff, I was like, all right, well, like you said, it's not one of those things where I was really big on it as a kid because it wasn't very like intriguing in any capacity. It was like a just easy thing to like read every once in a while, I guess, but it wasn't something that you would get involved in and engulfed in any capacity. But I feel if they had taken it, or if they were to take it in that route where they did like a TV show-esque thing where it was very, like you said, Smallville, or, I mean, I don't want to go as drastic as Riverdale is, but very similar to that, where they're kind of following these characters throughout and what their life is like. But I don't think they're going to approach it that way. So we'll see.
Yeah, the only saving grace for me is that Lord and Miller are involved. I think they're decent filmmakers, good storytellers. I do think they know how to connect with a wide audience. I also think they can make stuff that can be PG/PG-13 and be safe enough for most kids. This is a wait and see for me. This is a lot of red flags went up on this one. I did not even know that I would not. Of all the things you could have surveyed me in January, you're like, what? Archie? What? Who's working on Archie right now? Like that. That was not on my radar screen at all. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't even tell you how many Archie comics I've ever owned. Like, I don't even know. Like, it's just not ever been a thing for me. I'm not into.
Really?
I feel it kind of like, I don't say it's on its way out when I was a kid, but it was just like, yeah, whatever, dude. We've moved on. We're all doing Spider-Man and Batman and Avengers, and we're doing whatever now. We're not doing Archie anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Yeah. So, yeah. And you grew up in an era where that was the thing, not Archie comics. I wasn't taking
Wasn't a big thing at all.
No. Especially when you and your siblings were in the heyday of 90s animation. So they've grown up
100%. Yeah.
They've grown up on Batman original series, Superman, Justice, all that Warner Brother animated
X-Men,
series.
all of that stuff. Yeah.
And then on the Marvel, X-Men, Spider-Man, just so
yeah.
Archie. No offense, but it wasn't. So
nothing.
I feel Tom King is a bad mix, and I also feel the Riverdale track record and what they're doing is kind of also a red flag. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes of it.
Well, if we didn't have enough, I don't want to say bad news or weird news or something this week. This was one.
Weird is a good way.
Like what? So obviously Wicked is a huge thing right now. Like I get that,
Yes.
right? And before we get any further, I'll just say my hot take for Taylor so she knows. I don't really care about the movie. I don't like the story. I hate the story. I think it ruins some of the motivations and some of the characters, and it's like Glinda and her knowing each other so much. It just makes it kind of a muddled mess of the lore and all of that. And I feel like it was people standing on the shoulders of people that were really good. So when it came along, and now it's been sort of like elongated into this movie, I felt like every song felt too long because I know they've made it long. Like I know if you go see it, it's not as long. So I'm like, okay, but Wicked is its thing, and we got the new Wicked coming. I'm like, all right, that's fine. No, how weird is this? A Wicked TV show is coming to Prime. So somehow, some way, Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton, these people got with them and got them all to agree to, hey, by the way, let's do some Wizard of Oz storytelling. What did you think whenever I sent you the link? Like, what is this nonsense?
I didn't even know it was a discussion, and I feel like they're doing too much with Wizard of Oz. I don't really have like a fan base that's that extensive because I love the classic story. I kind of going off of what you said about Wicked. I loved the original Broadway show of Wicked. I thought it was a great concept. The songs were done so well in the Broadway that that's what it was made for. So when they did the movie, I, to be honest, was not interested in it. I watched it because my daughter wanted to watch it. Like I didn't really feel like it would be a good film. I didn't think it was going to be done the way that I needed it to be done because of it being such a good Broadway format, and that's what it was made for and written that way. And the Broadway, like a lot of shows are like that. Way you have like Phantom and things of these nature that are written specifically for Broadway. And when you get those stories that are tried to be incorporated into a film base, it can go wrong really easily if it's not done a certain way. And for me, Wicked was not that way. So to see this, when you shared it with me, I was like, why are they still doing this? Like, find something else to do. Like, and I feel like Prime has brought some very interesting concepts to us. So I don't think it's necessarily that I'm upset about the Prime aspect. It's more so with them continuing a concept, or that I feel like they're going to derail in a whole different way with this, but them continuing meddling with a classic in a way that they shouldn't. And I don't really have any interest or high hopes in it, but I mean, I'll keep
She's so much more optimistic than I am. She's so much. The
I
Ring of
know.
Power, I lasted just a few minutes because they butchered Ring of Power. I couldn't even give Wheel of Time any of my time because I know how bad
I
that
didn't
one
want to
is
watch
as
Wheel of
well.
Time. Yeah, no, I didn't want to watch
So the producer, her name is Gina Matthews. Now, Gina Matthews, I know, and recently has come up in conversation because she's a producer behind Urban Legend. So way back when, she was a producer on Urban Legend, and she has been around Hollywood. Her husband have their own little studio. They somehow threw a bunch of cash at all of this. They got this to work, and she, quote, says, I've been in love with Wizard of Oz books since I was a child. This reminds us of qualities we need to get through hard times, and Dorothy is a symbol of strength who shows us that with this little kindness and a lot of grit, we can not only achieve great things, but also lift up those around us. I'm excited to bring that message to the world now more than ever. See, I want to take that as a positive thing. But I also have been doing this for so long now that over the last 5 years, when a producer in Hollywood, a woman in Hollywood says those things, I feel like I'm reading coded language of girl boss stuff. Dorothy is a symbol of strength. Dorothy really isn't a symbol of strength. Dorothy is
No, she's not.
a symbol of like the spoiled child that needs to grow up a little bit and think about others and how it's a coming of age type story, right? She's not a strong character, right? And then it's like she has to achieve great things, and I'm excited to bring that message to the world. And then there's the now more than ever. What do you mean now more than ever? Like now is no different than ever. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing different about now. It's the same. So I'm, again, coded language. Not a massive fan of the Blake Shelton, Gwen Stefani involvement. I don't really know exactly what this means for the any of the other parts on it. I think this is
Musical
just
based.
what's that?
Yep. I feel like it just means it'll be musical based.
Yeah, maybe. I just feel like this is just them getting a bank of cash. Like this is the same Amazon throwing a whole bunch of money against the wall
Oh yeah,
and
for
putting
sure.
their, and again, the books are so odd and esoteric from what we've seen. There's a ton of things they can do. I just don't know with these people why I should trust or believe them. I just don't. I don't know what to say.
I don't
I'm
feel like it's very hopeful. I feel like, and I will be honest, I haven't read the book, so I don't have context from that side as far as how they are written to differ from what we know for Wizard of Oz. But based off of them sounding like they want to do a young adult aesthetic to this story, I feel like we're going to see it in a way that's not common to the Foundation, and I don't feel like I'm going to enjoy it. I don't feel like it's going to be a very good success.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that the Return to Oz and some of the other stuff that's out there is probably a better lens to look at of what to expect. Maybe another way to
Mhm.
look at this will be sort of like Tim Burton's take on Alice in Wonderland. Like it's so
Possibly.
different, it will shock people and it won't be what certain people want. And so I feel like that is the most optimistic way to look at this is Tim Burton's adaptation of the two Alice in Wonderland
Mhm.
stories. While they may or may not be for you, he was going to more source material type stuff. He's like, I would
Yeah,
assume
sure.
that's what they're going to do. There will be very specific things that we're going to find out that they were not able to do because it's going to be owned by Warner Brothers because of the Wicked licensing and what they had to do over on the Wicked side. So
Yeah,
assume that there's
true.
already going to be like Ring of Power type parallels with Lord of the Rings with, well, they weren't really allowed to do this and this and this. They had to do this, or you know what I mean? Like, why does Dorothy not have a dog? I don't know. Whatever it may be. I don't know. It's just I was so shocked and surprised. Man, I tell you what, this has been a week of I don't want to say bad news getting worse, but I felt like, oh my gosh, on top of everything else, Superman came last, by the way. I know we talked about it first, but I have to be honest, it was Call of Duty. I was like, what? And then it's like, Paramount, and I guess we'll kind of see. And Archie, I was really scratching my head. Wizard of Oz, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh. So it's been a strange week of like news stories and a kind of a run of the last couple weeks of some different things. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think.
America's cherished classic comes to life in this very special offer that helps children around the nation. Call 1-800-421-2000 to order the perfect gift for the holidays, the Wizard of Oz collection, featuring the celebrity-packed concert video and CD, a once-in-a-lifetime concert with an all-star cast performing favorite songs from the Wizard of Oz, also including the original motion picture, plus an original Wizard of Oz bound movie script and 2 original prints. This magical collection, a $100 value, is not available in stores and can be yours for just 4 payments of $19.98. All net proceeds will be donated to the Children's Defense Fund, a national organization providing a voice for America's children. Buy the holiday gift that you will share with your family time and time again. Call 1-800-257-1333 now.
The last one kind of isn't really, it's not really a huge thing. It's more like just kind of like the latest, which piece to tell you. It just keeps getting bigger and probably stranger, and we'll kind of see what that looks like. I've been talking about it long before it was set up over there. The Masters of the Universe, the He-Man movie, is coming.
Yeah.
The latest is Kristen Wiig's now part of the cast. So for those of you who don't know, Masters of the Universe has been on the plate $30 million deep at Netflix and still having a big mess on their hands. We did a whole show on the movie called Lost City, which was terrible because those are the guys that were set to direct this movie before Netflix dumped it.
Yeah.
Then they dumped it, and now it's over at Amazon. He'll be it's directed by Travis Knight, and we have sort of like interesting sort of adaptation coming with Jared Leto as a Skeletor.
So weird.
Okay, interesting. The thing, right? Camila
Yeah.
Mendez as Tila. I was not particularly thrilled with that. I think she looks and feels more like the new versions of Tila, which is sort of like
True.
the coded lesbian version of Tila, not the original version of Tila. So it's just, I don't know what to expect. I don't even know you and I've ever talked about any of this. What was your thoughts on the He-Man movie coming?
So I only had like a basic understanding of it coming. I didn't know a whole lot of details, so looking into this was a little bit more intriguing for me. I have a lot of mixed feelings for this. There's the part intrigue, part like, what are you doing with this casting, kind of, because I will say the biggest disappointment for me, I know you think that Camilla is kind of upsetting for the Tila side, but I don't like Nicholas's casting for Prince Adam. And I don't feel like he's going to give us that showstopper He-Man that we look to. And I also feel like part of He-Man and the reason why I love it is the campiness of the show. I feel like
I agree.
I watch that show with my son because he knows that those lines, just like Thundercats, are going to be repeated in every episode. And he's looking forward to getting that campiness to interact with the show as someone that enjoys it. And I don't feel like we're going to get that. I feel like it may go more of like a Conan live action feel to it than a He-Man. And I don't feel like I'm going to enjoy it. To classify it and go into it as this is a He-Man movie, I don't feel like I'm going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even have mixed feelings there because I would kind of rather have maybe something more serious and I'm very torn. Like I've said all along,
Yeah.
He-Man is probably the hardest one to get for me, where
Fair.
I don't feel like there's a win. I'm not going to get something that's going to adapt the show that I like with the campiness. I do agree with I think the problem with the He-Man casting is Alan Ritchson would have been the ideal He-Man, but he blew up because of Reacher, right? So he become the guy they can't get anymore. So got this guy.
That's
and
fair.
He's not going to have the gravitas for the name. Maybe he can pull it off. I don't know. But then it's like, I don't know what to do. It's not going to be candy, but I also don't think it's going to be Conan or Game of Thrones. I don't know what it's going to be. And we just keep throwing more casting news. Idris Elba also as Man at Arms is also kind of weird and kind of mixed feelings. I feel like he's just going to overshadow everyone else on screen because of who he is. He's so good.
Idris. He is fantastic.
Idris Elba. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like,
that's what I think that's another issue is that this casting, you have Idris and Jared on one side, and then you have these other people that are not very currently well known in it, and a whole lot of things that they've done to like put them up that high. And so it's kind of like, how are you going to balance that out? If you're forefront, like I think that's the right terminology, forefront. But if your main actor isn't going to be someone who's maybe well known in that capacity, they at least need to be able to bring this character to life. And I just don't see that with him. I don't look at him and think, you know what, that's our He-Man. And I don't know if it's going to be able to pull off that same way for me. We'll see, but I don't have that like excitement for it like I would want to.
Well, in this case, Roboto is going to be voiced by a female, Kristen Wiig. So Roboto has been changed. But there is going to be tons of different characters that are, in this. So we're going to have a Trapjaw. We're going to have a Goat Man. We're going to have Triclops. We're going to have Man. We're going to have all sorts of crazy stuff. I was mostly intrigued by the fact that they did get Idris Elba and Jared Leto, but I also feel like that also did exactly what you said so well, was that it kind of muddles up what the message or the feel of this movie is going to be. Like, I'm really more confused now than ever. Like, I feel like they were going to lean into no-name He-Man, lesser-known actors and actresses. Like, okay, we can keep the budget down, go more campy. We can have more fun, make it kind of for kids. I don't know what Amazon's going for. And I don't even know that Amazon knows what they're going for. I feel like we could be working off, scraps from stuff that is still over from Netflix. As far as I know, too, I don't think we've gotten any real footage or anything like that. And this is due like in June. This releases in June. So
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I didn't realize it's
I'm
that
shocked
soon. I
that,
don't know how I feel about that.
yeah, it says June 5th of 2026. So I'm shocked that at Comic-Con there wasn't, maybe I missed it. Is there a
Anything?
teaser or footage or anything? I don't really know. So
I don't think it was. I don't know if it was a legitimate. That's what the hard thing is. It's like the
yeah,
quote unquote teasers. I can never really tell if they're actually.
the only thing I saw was just the image of like him with sword. Like it's a close up of his chest and a sword, which doesn't really tell me much of anything, basically, right? And I've seen some like set photos where he's more like dressed like Prince Adam, he is He-Man. Yeah, I don't know. So this has been a rough week. This has been a rough week of news and stories and teases, and I can intertwine some trailers and teases along the way to beef up your Friday, folks, but I can only put so much icing on the turd.
Yeah.
It's kind
Yeah.
of out there. It's I don't know what
Not
to
a whole lot
say.
to look forward
Hollywood.
to it, but that's how it's been lately. I think we touched on it a little bit last time. Is going to the movies. There's not a whole lot of excitement there anymore. They haven't brought anything forward that where it makes us look forward to that theater time. Like it's it's so touch and go nowadays. It's really hard to get that excitement.
You didn't get moved by the hug that saved the day at Thunderbolts. You just didn't get moved by that. That wasn't like your big. That wasn't. They didn't just make you feel like you got your money's worth when it was a great big group hug that saved the day. Like it was.
No, I feel like well, not necessarily. No, I understand what you're coming from though. Thunderbolts we had mixed feelings for, but I will say in comparison to Fantastic Four, I did enjoy it. But I feel like that's because Thunderbolts is meant to be that silly team of people, and I feel like they bring that to where I can anticipate it from from that point. Whereas Fantastic Four is not. They're very focused, team based. Let's get it done, and I didn't get enough of that from the Fantastic Four side.
Well, you
So,
did. I agree with you about Fantastic Four, but I can't agree about Thunderbolts. We were they lost me in the elevator sequence where they're stuck in the elevator. We spent almost like 10 or 15 minutes of screen time with
it was
nothing
a
basically
long
happening.
scene. Yes.
And then at
Yeah,
the
I
end of the
agree with that.
movie where they have this sort of like they're stacking the suspense, there's going to be this big build up, and I'm like, there's really no way for them to win. They don't have any abilities to beat Sentry. How are they going to get themselves out of this? And it was a group hug. And yes, I said this before. The missus laughs out loud, which makes the daughter laugh out loud. I think my son-in-law and I are both sitting there like, what the heck is going on?
What just happened? Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
so,
fair. I will say that I was more intrigued to see if maybe they were going to go the route with Sentry, and I feel like you look at Sentry as being such a high end enemy for these superheroes because of how strong he's supposed to be and outrageously powerful. So I felt like it would have been more interesting for them to have almost like a Sentry just kind of fades off and you're left with, okay, when is he coming back? Who are they going to have help? Like, what's going to happen? But they didn't take it that route, so I was kind of confused as to what's going on with this.
group hug.
And I mean, we did touch on it too. Like, even at the very end, you have all of this stuff that we think is going to lead into something else, and then it hasn't happened yet. So we don't know. I don't know. We're along for the ride at this time with comic books. It's kind of, they hit their stride, and I'm just, whatever happens.
And it's not just comic book movies. It's a little bit everything, like you were saying. I feel like, we didn't watch Lilo and Stitch, the adaptation. Like, I don't need another live action Disney thing and get angry at all the changes that they've made from the original one. I don't want to, sit through. So yeah, so I'm with you. I just feel like this latest round of news and movie updates and a TV show update didn't excite me in one iota. It actually kind of made me sad and or frustrated. And it was sad that that's our Friday update for you folks, but it is what it is. But Tay's back. It's great to have her back. I'll do it again. So
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So
I will say that the kind of like, I don't want to like go into like a whole nother loop of discussion, but there has been one thing that recently was shared with us that I am looking forward to coming from the Netflix side, as far as a continuation of something that we've really liked. And for our household, we are stuck in this animation, or mostly anime, instead of live action adaptations lately when it comes to anything that's being done. And the fact that Netflix is bringing one of those anime to life in such a fantastic way, I think that is it's giving me a little speck of hope.
Which one was it? I'm sorry. I think
for One Piece, the fact that One Piece is getting a continuation that looks really good, and I'm excited that they're bringing it back and they're doing it justice.
Yeah. I was hesitant to watch the teaser trailer, anything about it, because I didn't want to be let down because season 1 was so amazingly good. Like I have to be honest, One Piece was possibly one of the it's not possible. It's one of the best things of the last 5 years for sure, 100%. So
it was so fantastic. Yeah.
All right, folks. Listen, you guys take care out there. Thanks for coming hanging with it. Check it out. I put a little hyperlink there for you. You can go give her. I was her first subscriber. That's unacceptable, folks.
Yeah,
she doesn't have content or videos, but it's okay. She's coming to hang out with us. We're having a good time talking about stories and stuff. And it's always great to do this with everybody out there. You guys give me your comments and thoughts and feedbacks on everything. If you're watching, this is a clip. Make sure you check out the full show and let us know what you think about that as well. So take care, everybody. Be blessed. Talk hard. Till next time, I'm Pops.
Chuck Norris Karate Commandos.
Break it up, crack it down, fight forces of evil wherever they're found.
Figures sold separately.
Location Tibet. Assignment: recover stolen microchip. Protecting it was Super Ninja.
Hi-ya!
First, Chemo stood up to him.
Hi-ya!
And was downed. Then Reed Smith flew in.
Hi-ya!
And was grounded. But now it's his karate against mine.
Hi-ya!
Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. Chuck Norris, Super Ninja, Reed Smith, Chemo, and other figures sold separately. New from Kenner.
To help them in their never-ending battle against the evil Decepticons, the Autobots create a new breed of robot, Dinobots.
Transformers, more than meets the eye. Dinobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers.
The Decepticons are attacking! The Dinobots will get them! Can't beat the Dinobots!
Sold separately from Hasbro.
We